Hey everyone, today we are going to put these potatoes in the freezer. I got a fantastic deal at Aldi's. They were $2.49 each bag, and I couldn't resist. I'm not quite sure what my potatoes are going to do in the garden this year, so better safe than sorry. So here I have my two 10-pound bags of potatoes. I'm going to save about half of them for some mashed potatoes, like half of one bag for some mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. So I'll be doing a bag and a half, so that'll be 15 pounds worth of potatoes in the freezer. And then once I defrost them, I will just throw them in my air fryer or my oven and just roast them up, and they're delicious. So I'm going to wash all of these potatoes, except what I'm going to use for Thanksgiving. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them up into cubes. And then here I have a bowl of water with some citric acid in it. And once you cut your potatoes, you want to put them in here so they don't oxidize, because then they would turn black. And they're edible if they are oxidized, but they just don't taste very good. I'm sorry, they don't look very good. So we're going to put them in there, and then you blanch them. So I'm going to have a pot over here filled with boiling water, and I have my little steamer basket here. It's got the handles and it goes right over these handles. So I just dip it right in there and blanch them, and then I'll put them here, and I'll have some ice water here in the sink to shock them, and then I'll dry them off and package them up into some Ziploc bags. All right, I'm gonna get these started washing, and I'll show you the next step after that. All right guys, I got all of my potatoes washed, and I just used a clean scrubby under some cool water. They did have quite a bit of dirt on them, so definitely glad I washed them really well. These are kind of small. They're just russet potatoes. So you don't want to can russet potatoes. I heard they can be really starchy and kind of look really nasty in your jars, even if you rinse them a bunch of times. So I think even the Ball Blue Book recommends not doing these russet baking potatoes for canning. So I enjoy them just frozen and then roasted. I actually enjoy most of my vegetables roasted if I got to choose how they were cooked. So we're gonna go ahead and get these started cutting up. I'm not going to peel these. I did peel my sweet potatoes that I grew when I froze them, because they had a little bit of bug damage on them, and I don't want to eat that, obviously. So I'm just going to cut them up into little cubes and put them straight into the citric acid water, excuse me, has citric acid in the water, and that will help it from turning black. And I did learn that after you blanch them and you have them out on your towel, you want to go ahead and put them in your bags and in the freezer as fast as you can, because sometimes even putting them in the citric acid water, I still had a little bit of oxidization on some of my potatoes, even doing it that way. So note to self, package them up right away. Don't let them sit out for too long on the towel. I'm using the same towel I used the other day for my sweet potatoes. If you go to my channel, you can find the link to that video also if you're interested in how to freeze sweet potatoes. I did it almost the exact same way as I'm doing these, except I peeled them first. And if the skin on your potatoes look okay, there's no reason for you not to peel them. They have so many vitamins and nutrients and stuff in the skin. As long as it's nice and clean and you're just freezing and not canning. If you can them, you definitely need to peel them, because there could be a risk for botulism from the dirt in the soil. I'm just kind of mix them around and make sure it gets coated all over there. And now if you wanted to, you could even shred these and make like hash browns. Or what I like to do is sometimes add some bell peppers and onions, and then you have like O'Brien potatoes. I already have some onions and bell peppers chopped up and in the freezer, so if I want to make those, I could just get all of the bags out and put them all together. But most of the time, I just like a good roasted potato. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting all of these up, and I'll show you how to blanch them. All right, you guys, I got my water boiling, and I have a good amount of potatoes cut up. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to bring this big bowl over here so I don't make a mess all over my counter. I'm going to put all of, as many as I can fit in here, about fill half the basket of the potato cubes. I left them in the water until that was boiling, submerged. All right, and then I'm just going to put them in the boiling water for 4 minutes. You want to do in between 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how big your cubes are. Mine are kind of in between. They're not huge, but they're not tiny. So I'm going to blanch them for 4 minutes in the boiling water. Then when those are done, then I'll put them in the ice water, and then once they're cool, I'll put them on the towel and I'll package them right up. Okay, I'm going to do with all of this, and then I have some more potatoes to cut up still. So I'll show you the final project when I finish it. Okay, I have a batch here in the pot. I've just been kind of stirring it occasionally during the 4 minutes just to make sure they don't stick together and the ones on the bottom come to the top and vice versa. And over here I have about 3 batches that I already put through the blancher in the hot pot, and just trying to keep them submerged as long as I can. And then I have this much of this really big bowl left to do. This is probably about 3 more loads in the blancher basket. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on this towel to start drying, and then I'll package those up while these are finishing. All right, you guys, we got through all those potatoes today. 15 pounds of cubed potatoes in my freezer, ready for us to roast or mash or however we want to eat them. And it didn't take that much time to do. So let me know if you like this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this, and I'll be throwing some more content out here real soon. And it was fun hanging out with you guys. Bye.